One. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Ben Dixon here, and I am happy to have you out here on the MLM Monday show, where we get together and talk about what's relevant today in direct sales, party plan, and MLM here in the space. Today on MLM Monday, I actually have a guest that's going to be with us to talk about a powerful topic, a topic that's changed my life forever and will change yours. And it's the idea of the role that personal development plays in your network marketing career. And when looking at this topic and thinking about who to bring out to speak on the matter, what I've done is I've invited good friend George Maydew out, and George is the founder of the Network Marketing Magazine. And if you guys don't know much about the Network Marketing Magazine, I mean, for literally for over a decade, they have featured some of the biggest names in personal development, and the biggest leaders in our industry have been featured in this work, and hundreds of thousands of distributors and networking companies all over the world have read this magazine to take their career to the next level. It used to be one that would come to your home, and you run out to the mailbox and you get the magazine, and that's how it was for years and years and years. And today, people subscribe online and check out the magazine there. And so with no further ado, I want to go ahead and welcome George out to the call. George, are you there?
I sure am. Nice to be with you, Ben.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you for taking some time to jump out onto the MLM Monday show. So we got 3 questions today about personal development. I wanted to bring them to you because you've had some incredible folks featured in your magazine that are literally the pioneers of how we use this information today in our careers. And if someone asks, what's your answer to the question we always get is, why is personal development important? How would you answer that if someone brought you that question, George?
Well, the question would really come from somebody that has never experienced personal development.
Sure.
And one of the problems that I see in our society is personal development should be part of the core curriculum when we start school. I mean, early on. It's all about personal development. You know, we develop personally, not by accident. And unfortunately, the development that takes place with most of the people today is influenced by TV. It's influenced by radio, songs that you may or may not want to have your kids listening to, people that you may or may not want to have them associated with. You know, it's often said that you will reflect the 5 closest friends that you have. And unfortunately, we in my life and raising my kids, my son really hung out with some great kids, and they all went off to college, same school together. And my son David was, you know, a great learner, but he called me in the first, 2-3 days of going off to school, and he said to me, "Dad, you know, my buddies, all they're doing is studying." I said, "Perish the thought." I said, "Can't you talk them out of it?" He goes, "No, I can't." I said, "Well, what are you going to do?"
Yeah.
I guess I'm going to do the same thing. Now, 4 years after graduation, these 5 guys are one of the most successful young adults that I know. And it's because they came together. Now, unfortunately, my son David had a friend who went down a different path and hung out with, quite frankly, drug addicts and, not so nice people. And he ended up, unfortunately, like I said, in jail, in prison, Fortunately, he's now starting to turn himself around. Um, I've had the privilege of mentoring him, and part of that mentoring is personal development, and he is eating it up. So it's never too late.
It,
But let's get it going from the very beginning. What do you
it,
think, Ben?
I love that idea. You know what, George? I'm so happy you use the example of personal development for your children when we're talking about network marketing and direct sales career. Because when I speak with corporate executives that run their own direct sales companies and MLM companies, I reference the distributor as someone who is that young adult, right, that you're working with. When I do the work that I do, I'm always talking to them about, hey, don't treat the distributor like they're a 4-year-old. Don't treat them like they're a 13-year-old. Treat them like they're the 22-year-old or 21-year-old in your life. You want to give them the things they need to be successful, and you want to mentor them and guide them along the path. You don't want to do it all for them. It's not like they're an infant where you're spoon feeding them or you're changing their diaper. It's not the relationship. If you're on the corporate side and you're looking at what's effective for personal development for our members and how we do that, you want to think about providing it in a way where they're the 22-year-old, so you can give it to them and they can run with it, but you're not treating them like a child, and it's really powerful when we get this, because so many people are at one place and they want to get to another, but they have no idea what that journey looks like or how to get there, right?
Right.
And it's something that I've found is some people don't have 5 people they can surround themselves with that are here where they want to be. And so what I've always talked about is filling those 5 seats with your brain time with some people that may not be a personal relationship, but might be a different type of mentoring relationship. Like I know for me personally, I like to listen to a lot of Grant Cardone, and I like to listen to a lot of Seth Godin, right? These 2 men, never met them personally, but Grant Cardone and Seth Godin have special places in my heart and in my mind, because they're some of the
Yeah.
5 guys I hang out with. Because every time I
Yes.
work out every day, they're in my ears on audiobook, right? And I'm always listening to their materials. They're forward thinkers that I've benefited from in my life. And you have a couple of those people that you've known personally that just and God rest their soul for the ones that aren't with us anymore, but have just done some amazing stuff. What you got to work. I was thinking about, you worked with some of the greatest minds in history and personal development with your magazine. Specifically, I'm talking about Jim Rohn and Zig Ziglar, right? And I got to see
Yeah.
Zig speak at the beginning of my MLM career, right
Yeah.
before he passed away, and I will never forget watching him speak. I saw him in the Allstate Arena here in Chicago, and he was on tour. And well, I just wanted to ask, for people who are listening to Jim and listening to Zig, what are 2 things that you'd say you learned from those guys that everybody deserves to take on in their life?
Well, before we go there, I just want to close out the importance of personal development and the importance of the fact that it is never too late. It's never
Yes.
too late.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a decision.
Mm-hmm.
It's a mindset,
It is.
and you're in control. And it's never too early. I got to tell you,
Mm-hmm.
tomorrow is my first grandchild, Jacob, 1 month birthday.
Congratulations.
Yeah, it's awesome.
That is awesome.
And one of the things that I was just talking to my daughter about was it's never too late to read to him,
Mm-hmm.
expose him. And you may not think that it makes a difference. Well, it makes a huge difference.
It does.
I remember when my daughter was 2 years old, I knew that she could learn just about anything. And I started to teach her the state capitals. I mean, most adults could only name the capital of their own state, and she could rattle off 15, 20 state capitals. And we were in a diner with a friend of mine, and I was asking her, what's the capital of Florida? Tallahassee. What's the capital of New York? Albany. And on and on and on. And the waitress looked at this 2-year-old girl and said, I can't believe it. I don't know any of those. Well, it wasn't too early for her and it's not too late for that waitress.
Hmm.
But I was blessed. We started the Network Marketing Magazine um, coming on 12 years in October 2017. This year it'll be 12 years.
Wow.
And you want to talk about surrounding yourself with giants. All I do is shine a light. I shine a light on great people,
Yeah.
and you can't help, um, the position that I've been in with almost 3,000 articles in these last 12 years, reading every single one of them. I mean, I'm not a brilliant guy, but I tell you what, I've 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 read the articles, I've listened to the audios, I've watched the videos, and it was funny. My wife was at an event I was speaking at in Las Vegas a while back, and she said, after we were done, she said, "I've been with you for a week. I never saw you prepare for that speech you gave."
Yep.
I said, "Deb, are you kidding me? I've been preparing for years." And it's the seeds that are planted inside of you that are really important. This month's issue, um, August 2017's issue, if you go down to the bottom article, it's my article. And I had a friend of mine who turned me on to a awesome video, a rare video where Jim Rohn and um, and Zig Ziglar were on stage together.
Oh, holy cow. That is rare.
And
Yeah.
it's only the video is only about 4 or 5 minutes. If you get a chance, take a look at it. But these two guys epitomized personal development, like you said. Um, Jim basically has said that if you're going to work on something, you need to be working on yourself. All right.
Hmm.
And there are so many ways that we can work on ourselves. And what Jim did was really the epitome of personal development. What's really cool is when you go back in time, in history, what you find are the mentors of Jim and Zig,
Hmm.
and mentors of those before Zig and Jim, right?
Hmm.
All of them are basically saying very similar things. So it's not hard, but it takes an effort to go ahead and do it. Just do it, like Nike says. Just do it. And personal development is like putting coins in a piggy bank.
Hmm.
At first, those pennies and nickels and dimes don't look like much, but as that piggy bank is exploding, and now you're going into a bigger jar and a bigger jar and bigger jar, this is what happens with personal development. It's a cumulative effect. Zig
And
Ziglar.
and there's a good point that no one takes it away from you either. No matter what happens in your life, it's still there. It Everything you've done for yourself is. It is.
People think that this one has never failed or that one has never failed.
Hmm.
Let me tell you something. You're probably too young to have failed a lot of times. I'm sure you've failed a couple, right? Well, we all have.
Absolutely.
We all have, and it's a matter of not being knocked down and staying down. It's a matter of getting
Yep.
up, because no matter how bad you failed, whether or not it was a bankruptcy or two bankruptcies, or if you're old enough to have three bankruptcies because the government only lets you do it every 7 years,
Hmm.
what they can't take away from you is what's in your head and in your heart. And that's what really comes from personal development. So,
Hmm. Well, this is I love this whole piece because if for the people who are watching this, you'd be amazed at what's possible in your life. One of the things I learned when I started digging into personal development teaching wasn't about the stuff that I didn't know about, the stuff I knew I didn't know much about. It was all the stuff that I didn't know much about, right? There's all this whole world that's available to you. There's all sorts of practices of really practical stuff you can do in your day to where things that take normal people out of the game won't take you out of the game because you'll see it for what it is. Someone has a crazy response to you on a sales call. It's probably more about them than it was about you,
sure.
right? And so many things become that you don't even know in your day are just excuses. You may have excuses from your clients that aren't even real, and if you called them out on their excuse, they'd buy from you sooner. You make excuses yourself for why you don't pick up the phone or follow up with somebody, which if you just picked up the phone, maybe they were in the middle of something last time and they're going to grab it and they're going to order from you today, right? And so there's so much waste in your life that I think when you go through personal development material and you apply it, you're able to clear away a lot of this waste that happens, whether it's just mental or whether it's real in your life, and you're able to create something phenomenal. It's like a flywheel for your body, right? Where it's getting spinning faster and faster and is able to do more with the same amount of time and the same amount of space. It allows you to be better with the energy you have. One of the things I love to do as we come to our short show today is I want to give people three simple things that just they could do every day to grow, right? And I hear this question a lot, or what are the things I should be doing each day to grow? And I've answered it before, but I want you to answer it, George. If I came to you and said I'm just starting a career in direct sales, what are three simple things I should do make sure I do every single day to grow and personally develop? What would your answer be?
Well, my first answer may not be politically correct, but
That's okay. The show is not politically correct, so you're clear.
I'm a man of faith, and so
Yeah.
as far as I'm concerned, God is number one in my life,
Amen.
and
Yeah.
my relationship with God begins in the beginning of the day and ends at the end of the day. And if
Mm-hmm.
I wake up in the night, I'm thanking Him when I
Amen.
wake. And so that is so important. Early on, when I became a Christian,
Mm-hmm.
somebody said to me, "How can you be a Christian and a businessman at the same time?" I said, "I didn't know that they didn't go together. Nobody told me, you
No one
know."
told me being a Christian disqualifies you from being a businessman.
I don't know. I don't know. It was a strange story, but that's number one. No,
Yeah.
number two is to be able to relate with people, mentors, trainers, like you end up saying, especially Seth. Um,
Mm-hmm.
when you find someone that you really relate to,
Mm-hmm.
you really need to um, go all in.
Yeah.
Right? I believe that one of those people is a great contributor of ours, a partner of ours, Dr. Shad Helmstetter, and he is the pioneer of mindset and the proper mindset. Because if you think you can't do it,
You
you're
won't.
absolutely right.
Yeah. You won't.
Think you can, you stand a whole better shot. And Dr. Helmstetter really puts that in perspective in a number of different arenas. Whether or not, I mean, he has programs about the proper mindset of a woman, the proper
Mm-hmm.
mindset of a couple, proper mindset of raising your children, proper mindset of being in business, of being in network marketing. Right. So I would really suggest that is somebody that can really be of some big help. I was at an
Well,
event this
this
past.
is really good. I want to interrupt just for a second because I don't want people to miss these points. The first thing George said of this three was to get right with God, and that creates a spirit of gratefulness in your day. And I just want to be really clear that that creates a level of gratefulness, folks, that powers you through your day in an incredible way. So if you're not right with your Creator and you're not praying or being in communication with that, you're missing out on this level of gratefulness that can help you through all sorts of times and perspective of why you're blessed and where you are. And number two, what you just shared was you got to feed your mind and get your mindset right. Right. And so the second point George was sharing here was not missing is you have to feed your mind so that you're thinking about things the right way. So many times it's just a perspective that's imprisoning you from getting through whatever it is you're working on. And going through some sort of mindset training, whether it's a video or whether it's a few chapters of a chapter of a book each day, doing one thing can completely set you up for a different experience that day. All right, go ahead, George. You know, you had a third.
So, and the third thing that I would say, um, I was at an event this last week. It was 20,000 people
Mm-hmm.
in Las Vegas, and I kept on hearing over and over again, you should read this book and you should read that book, and that's all good. And they talked about personal development, and the guy that was sitting next to me goes, well, your magazine is really a personal development magazine. I said,
Mm-hmm.
the Network Marketing Magazine is a success library of every aspect in growing a business and growing yourself,
Mm-hmm.
right? And that's what's exciting to me. We've had over 200 people that have contributed to the magazine. A guy named Ben Dixon is one of our newest contributors, and we're excited about having you share your wisdom with our readers. Next year we'll be at 1 million members worldwide. We're read in all 50 states and 123 countries around the world. But one of the things that I realized when I was listening to the recommendation of this book or that book, in one place in the Network Marketing Magazine, you have just a treasure trove of what it takes to being a better you. As a matter of fact, this month's theme is a better you, which
Yeah.
is really interesting. Um, but but what we've done is we've created a vehicle where anybody can participate in the Network Marketing Magazine. We've we've made it, I mean, absolutely silly inexpensive to be involved in it. I mean, if I can do a shameless plug, if you end up going to the Network Marketing Magazine, you have an opportunity to to be a member for free. Now, the only thing is you only get this month's issue and last month's issue. You don't get 12 years of issues where you can sort through according to areas that you want to build yourself up in, like leadership, sales, or prospecting. All right, and that's the real value of being part of our annual success membership. And
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 it's
what we,
perfect, George, because your annual success membership for people who are checking it out, you can go buy 3 books, and it's the same amount of money as getting the entire library 12 years.
yeah,
And
yeah,
you'd be amazed at how many tens of thousands of dollars even I spent to get this type of information over the years. And I mean, you just look behind George in his library here. There's stacks
it's
of
only a
stuff.
small part. Yeah,
Yeah, and that's the key is investing in yourself. And so you definitely deserve to go create an account and get a free account here inside of the Network Marketing Magazine. And when you know what area you're going to focus on, you can dig deeper and tap into their memberships there. That's
yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what we found was is that unfortunately, in our membership, there were people that thought they bought themselves a network marketing lottery ticket, and that's not the case. And when we analyzed it, 70% of those people just didn't want to work at it. They didn't want to. They didn't want to do anything more than walk to the end of their driveway to find out if the big check came in. What we found was 27% of the people were starved for this information. And those are the people that we've really concentrated on in really helping those people. And that's where the annual 27%er success membership comes. And when they become a member, when they purchase that membership, it's $97 a year. What we like to do is shower you with bonuses that will put you on a path. And one of the bonuses that I would like to give your listeners is, if you go there, they're going to ask for a referral code. Just put down Ben, right? And this way we'll know where that order came from. And what we'll do is, instead of 1 year, we'll give you 2 years for that price of one.
Fantastic.
But we're going to give 2 other bonuses of people that I really feel as though it teaches some meat and potato. What do I do Monday morning? I'm not a motivational speaker. That's Tony Robbins. I'm not going to be here to entertain you. You got to go to Las Vegas and listen to all the Elvises there. But if you come to me and say, what is my group? What can my group do? Learn. And what will they learn that they can apply on Monday morning? All right. So the 2 other bonuses that we end up giving, if you use the referral code Ben, beside the 2nd year free, we're going to give a awesome social media program teaching on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Twitter that we sell in our store for almost $400. We'll give it as a bonus. And that's from a great guy, great teacher who's been teaching this for 15 years, 20 years, Max Steingart. The other bonus is one of my best friends, Dale Calvert, who is documented to have created more 5, 6, and 7-figure income earners than anybody else in the industry. And what he's done is over the years, he realized that it wasn't, you're not going to be a success overnight. If you follow his program, and it's chopped up into 18 segments, and he taught it in 18 months, so you really drill down. He ended up going ahead and giving the Network Marketing Magazine that same program that he used. And he said, as long as you sell it for no less than $500 in your store, we'll give it to you as an exclusive. But for your 27 percenters, I'll allow you to give that program to the 27 percenters free of charge.
Got it.
I mean, what's happening is that we not only are supporting our 27 percenters, but like you, we have a handful out of the 200. We probably have 20 or 30 27 percenter trainers that can actually bring you down a pathway that will give you a taste of that success. So all of it wraps up into this personal development. And like I said, I love what Nike is all about. Just do it. You just got to do it, and it works. So I appreciate this time that I've had with you, and I'd like to feature you in a really soon to be future issue of the Network Marketing Magazine, because for a guy your age, 67, 68.
Yeah, I'm almost.
For a young guy like you, I tell you what, I'm so excited about you and what what you have to offer so many people. I congratulate you.
Well, thank you, George, for that, and thank you for the kind offer to the people who are on the MLM Monday show. One thing we can wrap up here to summarize for those of you that are watching today: the 3 actions you can take right away to grow every single day is number one, you can get right with God, your spiritual life. George was professing as a Christian. I am also a Christian, and I believe Jesus is God and Lord, and so getting that relationship right every single day is the first step to having a great day where you can live in gratefulness. You get your spiritual life right, you're going to be in gratefulness in your day, because you'll know what's true in that. Number two, for the thing you can do every single day, was you can get your mindset right. Your mindset right can be as simple as watching a video or reading an article from one of those people that's a part of your 5, right, that you're thinking about and being with. Right. Number 3 is plugging in to some resources, right? And actually plugging in and working on a specific skill set. So you want to identify a skill set, like what George just shared with Network Marketing Magazine, the resources there. You identify a skill set and work on that specific skill set every single day as you get better. So thank you so much for coming on the show today, George. It was an honor to have you here as a guest. I really appreciate your time and having you here. Thank you so much for joining us.
Well, thank you, Ben. Thank you very much.
All right, folks. Well, don't just listen, do something. Take this information and take action. We'll see you soon. Bye for now.